Did you watch any of that French Open this morning?
Well, I watched Friday, which went forever.
Me too. I wish I had texted you.
Well,
I didn't even know it was on, okay? And I'm flipping around on Friday, and Nadal was playing Djokovic in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Which normally that would be a final.
Correct.
I thought it was the finals.
It was not. Yeah. Yesterday I watched the finals, 5-setter.
Tsitsipas is waiting for the winner of this one.
Mary.
I heard her say that 100 times. No disrespect to Tsitsipas.
Tsitsipas waits. But these two are going at it. Two gladiators. They're in the clay soil of Roland Garros.
I flipped over there.
No quarter asked and none given. The undisputed king of clay. Away. His reign has come to an end.
I flipped over there. And Djokovic was down like 5-1 in the first set. So I'm going to watch this thing. And he came back. And it was, the match was unbelievably good, wasn't it? It was really incredible.
Yes.
They're the best two guys on the tour right now.
No question. Well,
and especially Nadal on clay.
Absolutely.
He's masterful.
So it goes only 4 sets. They were saying after the third set, now Nadal won the first, then Djokovic won the second, and Djokovic won the third. In fact, he closed him out in 4 sets. But in the third set, it went so long, and every rally, every point was like a world ender. There were like 20 shots each time. I could not look away.
Just great shot after great shot.
Exactly.
And the crowd goes crazy after everyone.
Yes, and like Chris Evert was tweeting, "This is the best match I've ever seen." You know, and I thought it's maybe early to say that because it only went 4 sets. But those points were so good. That really was great. And Mary Carrillo kept saying, "I have never seen anything like this before in my life." I kept thinking of
These
Chris.
two giants are playing at a level. They've summoned an extra gear in their senior years.
Well, she kept saying they're digging deep. They're digging deep. You know, they just kept
Bunch of old men.
Yeah, they're in their 30s.
Yeah.
And John McEnroe said 35 is the new 25, you know, that kind of thing. And then this guy, Tsitsipas, which I'd never heard of, was waiting. And I saw the 5-set match yesterday. But the point was, they were playing in the afternoon here, and I had nothing to do, so I watched the whole thing. I told my wife, just get out. I'm watching this. You know, she goes, I don't want to watch this. I said, you can leave. I'm watching this.
On the big new TV?
I said, I'm watching on the big new TV with surround sound because I wanted to hear the balls behind me. And Mary Carrillo in full.
Not the balls under you.
Right, no. And I didn't get up for like 4 hours just watching that. Fantastic. The point was, and you were talking about it, they kept saying, you know, 11 o'clock Paris time. These people have to go home.
Yeah,
the crowd
there's still a COVID curfew.
Right, and it was 11 o'clock. And now that set took forever. So it got to be like 10:30 Paris time. And Mary Carrillo said, guys,
don't want to be clock watching, but the clock is ticking. Time is of the essence.
Yeah, it was late.
That's right. So then it got to be like 10:45 their time. And Mary said, here comes the announcement. Here comes the announcement.
Is that up to the tournament director or the umpire?
It was up to, well, the tournament director came out to make the announcement, but it's a national curfew. And they were like, and she said, President Macron needs to do something. Mary Carrillo said, we need to get in contact with
a dispensation?
Yes.
But he was in London.
He was.
With Biden and the Queen.
At the G7.
Oh, that's right. He's at the G7.
Right. So the guy comes out with a mask on, right, and he takes the microphone and he speaks in French. So he's like, and the whole crowd's going, "Boo!" And they had been chanting, "We won't leave, we won't leave." And
in English or French?
In French, and because they didn't know, they were like, they're chanting something. And Mary said, "We're getting word here. They're chanting, 'We won't leave, we won't leave.'" And so he comes out and he starts speaking, and the crowd starts booing, boos raining down, and Mary and John McEnroe are like, here it is. It'll take a half hour. We'll have to pause for a half hour while they empty the stadium, and the two players will come back and play the next
in front of an empty
stadium. Yeah, and so
they don't come back the next day.
No, they were going to wait, take a break for like 30 minutes. Well, halfway through the guy's announcement, the crowd roars with cheers, and Mary says, "I don't know what's been said."
I don't.
Qu'est-ce que c'est, as they say in France.
Mary said, "I don't know." And I'm just on the edge of my seat. You know, I was on the edge of my couch going, what is going on? And finally, Mary said, we've just gotten word that what the gentleman said was, because this match is so good, you all can stay. They relaxed the rules.
If you all get the COVID, it is not my fault. It is your fault. We are okay with this. Signified by stomping your feet or waving your berets.
So they all stayed. And Mary said that was the right decision. It's too good. And they didn't want to stop the match. And apparently, if it had been a blowout, they'd have said going home. But it was such a good match, they let him stay. I thought of Chris Demm the whole time because I was
It's
like,
tennis history here.
it was unbelievable.
Because they built a roof, right, and lights
Yes,
at
they did.
the main stadium.
Yes, they do.
Which they didn't used to have.
and it comes on and off based on weather or whatever. It was open, and it was nighttime there, but it was really cool to see. And
Did you see the Eiffel Tower lit up?
Yes.
I bet the beauty shots were
it's gorgeous.
spectacular.
It's gorgeous. But when the guy started talking, I was like, oh, here he goes. You know? And I wondered if I don't think that would ever happen in the United States. If we had like an 11 o'clock curfew and the Game 7 of some baseball series was going into extra innings, I think they'd make the people leave. I don't think we'd go, okay, the president says you can stay. They said, Macron has said they're giving an extension. You can stay.
It's amazing.
Just for this only. It was incredible that they did that.
Europe's still in trouble over there with the COVID. London and England was supposed to open up, I think, the 21st, and they said that Boris Johnson's going to have to say,
Really?
we're still in bad shape. It's not going to happen on the 21st.
Do they not have the vaccine numbers that we have?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think they're getting them in the arms like this.
And didn't the new variant show up there more than it did other places?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll tell you this. Now, we have a coworker. I'm not going to mention him by name, but we got into it over the vaccine on Friday.
On the air or off the air?
Off the air.
Okay.
This is not an on-air person.
Is this back in the office, Kelly?
Yeah, back in the office. He came by and he said, what do you think about the, I guess you're upset you got the vaccine now. I said, what are you talking about? He said, what about this?
Just sticking you already, huh?
Yeah, he's like, yeah. He's like, you're pretty upset on this vaccine. So we mean. He goes, yeah, metal will stick to your head now because you've got the vaccine. You hear this?
Sorry.
Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So he says, get out of here. Get out of here. And the reason he said that is because a doctor, this happened one day last week. Her name is Sherry Tenpenny. She's an osteopath. And she said, I'm afraid these vaccines cause the heavy metals in our body to go up. And so therefore, if you stick metal objects to your face or wherever, it will stick to you if you have that. This is the woman talking.
What is it that's actually being transmitted that's causing all of these things? Is it a combination of the protein, which now we're finding has a metal attached to it? I'm sure you've seen the pictures all over the internet of people who've had these shots and now they're magnetized. They can put a key on their forehead, it sticks. They can put spoons and forks all over them and they can stick. Because now we think that there's a metal piece to that. There's been people who've long suspected that there was some sort of an interface, yet to be defined, an interface between what's being injected in these shots and all of the 5G towers.
All right. Okay. Obviously, I thought this was absolute hokum.
It's quackery.
Of course,
at the highest level.
Of course. And this guy's in my office, our office, saying, we think about stuff sticking to your face. And I was like, you're not going to stick to my face. I can guarantee you that. And he showed me a video of this other one. We have another woman who's at a meet sticking keys to her breasts.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
You
see her?
Who tried to get him to stick, try to get him to stick to her face?
She tried, well, I've heard that it'll stick like near your thyroid, like on your neck. And so she was trying to stick her to her neck. And
she had to do some leaning.
She had to lean. Here she is doing it. Here.
Yes, vaccines do harm people. By the way, so I just found out something when I was on lunch, and I wanted to show it to you. We were talking about Dr. Tenpenny's testimony about magnetic vaccine crystals. So this is what I found out. So I have a key and a bobby pin here. Explain to me why the key sticks to me. It sticks to my neck, too.
But it fell a couple of times.
So if somebody can explain this, that would be great.
And then she did a lot of leaning and everything. So I didn't believe it. But then this guy, I won't mention him, in our office said, we'll take a key off your key ring, stick it to your forehead. And I will tell you, it stuck to my forehead. I mean, it did. And it did not stick to his. And he has not been.
Please.
It did not. It did not. Now, he's got a rounder head than I do. His head is rounder. But I was shocked. I was like, okay. And I stuck it up there, and it sticks. I mean, it's on me right now. It sticks. You see that? There it goes.
Yeah.
But is that because of my body oils? Is that what
It's got to be.
Is that
body grease?
But that's what I said. I said, that's body grease. He's like, you think what you want. But he stuck it to his head, and it did not stick. And I was like, I'm not buying this for 1 second.
Because there's nothing inside. No gray matter,
But
no white matter.
but I stuck it up to my head. Now it's not sticking. Thank God.
Now it's sticking on mine.
It's sticking on yours.
But you're tilted back.
Well, I mean, but mine was now on that day on Friday when I stuck it there. Now it doesn't anymore, thank goodness. But it did stick.
It feels loose. I
Yeah.
mean, it feels like I could easily
Yeah.
just shake it off.
But as you do that, I mean, it
Yeah.
does stick.
But I also think it feels
It's
like
grease.
it's sticking because of the grease.
It's grease. That's what it is. But when he left, I was like, oh my God,
What have I done?
what have I done to my body?
Yeah, I'm Magneto.
You let him. You,
I
you
let
bought
him in.
into
I
it.
let him in.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, it sticks. It does stick. But for me, at least, it stuck there, and he put it on his head, and I mean, he kept trying to press it, and it just fell every time, and it stuck to my forehead.
Did you ask Roundhead if his logic applies to any body part?
Yeah, hang it on
Not
your
just a
arm and let it
greasy
hang
forehead?
on. Why your head?
I did not. I don't know.
That's where you put spoons. That's where you put playing cards.
I agree. I agree.
when you hang on.
I
Of
agree.
course it is.
And I said,
And who's this clown doctor?
That's Dr. Tenpenny. She says,
Doesn't she have a clown uncle?
Dr. Tenpenny.
He lives in the sewer.
Lives down in the sewer?
Yes.
What's his
Let me,
name?
Pennywise.
Yeah, Pennywise.
That's a distant cousin. Oh, Pennywise. I
no.
need to get with Dr. Oz on this to see. But I sure did stick it up there. He goes, aha! And he's like, I got you, Chris Kelly.
Yeah.
He's kept saying that.
I bet he lived off that all weekend.
Oh, he was
Oh,
high
sure.
fiving everybody on the way out.
I just pwned Kelly.
Yeah, he was killing me in there on Friday. And he had me, and as soon as he left, I was like, my God, he's right. But I think it's grease.
I've got the medals.
I said,
I'm a magnet.
I've got medals in me.
I keep driving to 5G towers.
I know. And I said, Chris Demm should be here. He exfoliates. I said, he's not here. He's not here to
He's
do
dry.
this. I said, he's dry.
He don't sweat.
Well, he used to have an oily T-zone, but he really took
I
care
work
of
on it.
Oh,
Right.
no, he worked. I said, Chris Demm's got to be here. You're quack. But he was all over me about that. The old round head. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking- His head's round
Oh, God, yeah.
as a bowling ball.
Like Charlie Brown.
I said, no. I said, no wonder.
And the same hairdo.
Yes, it is. One curl.
Similar wardrobe, actually.
Yet he's called a blockhead.
As Charlie Brown, that's right. Man, though, it bothered me. It bothered me all weekend. That key stuck to my head. I kept sticking it in my head all
Come on,
weekend. It
Kels.
was sticking. I don't know. It was. I was worried about that.
Will you unlock the door? No, but watch. Please unlock the door.
I know. I kept showing my wife. I was like, "Oh no, I'm really worried about this."